Welcome back to Stop the Clock with Brad. Guess what I just got through doing? I just got through eating and it's only 10:30 in the morning. For the past 4 years, I've been a intermittent faster. I'd eat dinner around 7 or 8, then I'd go work out fasted around lunchtime, say 10:30, 11, and then eat around 1 or 2. That was working great for me until about the last year. So when I started doing this, of course, I was heavier. I was weighing about 270, carrying a lot of body fat. And so doing the intermittent fasting, carnivore diet helped me shed a lot of fat and get me in good shape. So I checked that box, but then I changed my workout. I went from what was a still intense but 45-minute workout to a new program where I was paying a coach to try to get me stronger. And I couldn't get through the workout fasted. I did the workout and I couldn't complete 70% of it. I was great for about the first 45 minutes or so. And then my performance just tailed off extremely. That happened the first 3 workouts that I did. So I said, well, let's try eating. I ate. And then, yes, my body adapted great. Now I can do these workouts. Well, you might ask, well, Brad, why would I care about this? Well, the reason I wanted to change was I was noticing I wasn't gaining muscle anymore. And we all know, or if we don't know, sarcopenia, we peak at our prime muscle around 30 to 35. Then it starts going down after that. And you'll hear a lot of things that say it's almost impossible to put muscle on after 50. Well, I didn't believe that. I think that's just an old way of thinking. We just have so much more knowledge now than what we used to have. And so I said, well, let me try this. It's called a conjugate program, something based off the West Side Barbell. And speaking of barbell, shout out to Dirty Dog Barbell. It's a great gym if you're ever down the Atlanta way. It's in Rome, Georgia. Great strongman gym. It's got all the stuff you need to train for strongman, powerlifting, bodybuilding. Be sure to check them out. Great people down there. But I wanted to get stronger. Why? Because as we age, no one's ever going to say, oh, look, that guy is so shredded. That's why he didn't fall down. Oh, that guy is so aesthetically pleasing and cut up. That's why he's not hurt. No. How you look isn't going to do anything for you when you get older. How strong you are, that's what's going to keep you safe. That's what's going to keep you living a great life for a long time. Right? What's one of the big reasons people go into nursing homes when they get older? They can't get up and down off the toilet. They go partially down and they crash because they have no leg strength. Like, doing leg extensions makes your legs look pretty, but does it make them stronger? A little. What makes them stronger? Squatting makes them stronger. Why? Squatting improves the strength of your legs and also your balance, right? You have to have some type of balance to be able to squat with weight on your back. It's a skill. And so for me, I don't care how I care somewhat how I look. Like, I look right good enough, but I'm never going to be accused of having, 6-pack abs, because I don't care if I have 6-pack abs, right? There's actually a study out that shows that a heavier, strong person has a better life outcome than a leaner, weaker person. So the strength that you have, to me, really is one of the primary things you have for aging. And so that's what really prompted me to change my diet. I'm still fasting, so I'm not eating 4 meals a day. I'm still eating 2 meals a day. But what I'm doing, I'm having my first meal around 10 or 11. It depends on what my day looks like. 10 or 11. train around lunchtime and I'm eating a earlier dinner, so I can still fast overnight. I can still 24-hour fast if I want to on the days I don't train, right? I train Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So I can fast on Wednesday if I want to. I can fast on Saturday if I want to. So I'm still getting to do that. But to me, the strength is the most important. I think the stat is 30% of people over 70 have trouble walking, getting out of a chair, or climbing. That's just exactly what we're saying, is that I don't want to be in that 30%. I'm just a big believer that the stronger we can be, the safer we are, because this resistance training doesn't just help us with our balance, help us with our strength. It strengthens the bones. It's just not just the muscle getting worked, it's the bone getting worked. And when you fall down, what happens? People break hips. It's one of the big travesties I think there is in at least American society. When you see someone die and they say they died of natural causes. There's nothing natural about dying. I know you have to die, but a lot of these deaths that are natural, they started with a fall and a broken hip, right? My grandmother, she was in her 60s, working, having a great life, fell, broke her hip. All of a sudden, she couldn't walk like she did before. She couldn't exercise like she did before. And so what happens? Her quality of life started to go down. Now, she exercised, but she exercised on machines. And that's one thing I want to talk about with us over 50. It's not just training, it's the intensity that you're training. I could not train at an intense enough level for me to level up my strength in my 50s if I was just going through the motions. And so at the intensity level that I need to work out to be as strong as I need, that's why I need to eat before I work out and get that nutrition in my body. Now, when do I work out? I eat 2 hours before I work out. If you go past 4, really studies are showing that that's almost fasted workout. It's not, but you're not going to get the same type of benefit that you would to the food that you eat if you go that far away from it. So I try to do it 2 hours before. I'm not as concerned about when I eat after. There's plenty of studies out that show it doesn't really matter when you get your nutrition after you work out, as long as you get your nutrition after you work out. So for me, it's usually at least 2 or 3 hours afterwards. So those are my 2 meals, and it's getting my protein in. And that's the other thing about aging, is as we age, we just don't assimilate protein as well as we used to. And unfortunately, a lot of older people, they wind up eating less protein as they age because of their appetites, and they need to gain more. If you look here at this study, it says that we need to have 0.8 grams of protein as we age, and that's per pound of skeletal muscle. But it goes on to suggest for older people, it can be as high as 1.2 to 1.5. So if you're not absorbing protein as well, before you were eating 40 grams and absorbing 70, but now you eat 40 and you're absorbing 50, well, you can't just keep on eating 40, right? You need to eat more. You need to eat 45, 48. And so that's the other big thing it's one thing I like about being carnivore, because carbs don't really seem to have that big a deal on resistance training for like an hour, hour and a half. Now, on like cardio type things, carbs might matter, but I don't need to have carbs to perform great in the gym as far as my strength and my endurance for that hour and a half goes. But getting enough protein overall, that is very critical for how much muscle we can put on, and how not just put on, but how we can keep it on. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. I'm still fasting, but I'm not training fasted anymore. You may say, well, what about your hormone response? Because when you train fasted, your body pumps out testosterone and it pumps out growth hormone. Well, I'm still sleeping great. I'm still putting on muscle. I've got a physical in about a month, so I'll find out where my testosterone is at that point. But I haven't noticed anything negative in my body as far as how I feel or how I perform that I'm not doing fasted training anymore. And that's not to say I won't do it again, but right now I'm just getting too big of a benefit eating before I work out. So that's it. Thanks for watching the video, and remember, together we can stop that clock.